Death stops. Hospitals around the world suddenly fill with confusion after patients who were expected to die simply stay alive. Elderly people stop breathing for a moment, then wake back up. Victims of accidents survive injuries that should have been fatal. At first, nobody understands what is happening. Doctors run tests nonstop, governments demand answers, and families begin to realize something impossible has changed forever. Global panic. News spreads faster than anyone can control it. Some people celebrate, while others become terrified. Religious groups argue over what immortality means. Scientists rush to study the human body, while conspiracy theories flood the internet. Many people stop going to work entirely because the future suddenly feels uncertain. Others become reckless, believing nothing can truly harm them anymore. Hospital collapse. Even though humans can no longer die, injuries and illnesses still exist. Patients continue arriving with broken bones, organ damage, severe burns, and diseases that never fully heal. Hospitals quickly run out of space because nobody leaves permanently. Intensive care units become overcrowded with patients trapped in endless suffering. Doctors face horrifying situations where people survive conditions that would normally end their pain. Population explosion. Within a few years, the global population begins rising at a speed never seen before. Birth rates continue, but death rates disappear completely. Cities become packed beyond capacity. Apartment buildings overflow with families living in tiny spaces. Roads remain crowded day and night. Governments struggle to provide enough food, water, and electricity for billions of additional people. Food shortages. Farms can no longer keep up with demand. Grocery stores empty within hours after deliveries arrive. Prices rise so quickly that basic meals become luxuries for many families. Countries begin fighting over farmland and fresh water. Some governments force citizens into strict food rationing, while others ban certain foods entirely. Hunger spreads, even though nobody can actually die from starvation, leaving millions weak and constantly suffering. Prison crisis. Criminal justice systems become overwhelmed almost immediately. Life sentences suddenly become truly endless. Prisons run out of cells as inmates continue aging without dying. Some governments debate permanent isolation chambers, while others attempt risky experiments to erase memories or freeze prisoners indefinitely. Society begins questioning whether eternal punishment is even humane anymore. Economic breakdown. Retirement becomes meaningless because nobody ever reaches the end of life. Older generations keep their jobs for centuries, leaving younger people with fewer opportunities. Housing prices climb beyond imagination because homes are never freed up. Wealthy families grow richer across generations, while poorer families become trapped permanently in poverty. Entire economies begin slowing down under the pressure of endless population growth. War changes. Soldiers can no longer be killed, but battlefields become even more horrifying. Explosions, gunfire, and injuries still cause unbearable pain. Some soldiers become permanently disabled, yet remain alive forever. Wars drag on endlessly because neither side can truly eliminate the other. Eventually, many nations avoid direct conflict entirely, fearing eternal suffering instead of death. Mental exhaustion? After decades pass, many people begin struggling emotionally. Humans were never built to experience endless time. Relationships grow complicated after centuries together. Memories pile up until people can barely remember their early lives. Some individuals lose motivation completely, feeling trapped in an existence with no natural ending. Depression becomes one of the world's biggest problems. Environmental collapse. Forests disappear as cities expand into every available space. Oceans become polluted from endless industrial activity. Animal species vanish faster than ever because humans consume more resources each year. temperatures continue rising as energy demand grows uncontrollably. Governments try building floating cities, underground shelters, and giant artificial farms, but the planet slowly begins failing under humanity's weight. Underground societies. As surface cities become overcrowded, new communities form beneath the earth and underwater. Massive underground tunnels are transformed into permanent neighborhoods. Wealthy groups create hidden luxury compounds, while poorer citizens survive in crowded artificial environments with recycled air and limited sunlight. Entire generations grow up without ever seeing open skies. Medical experiments. Scientists become obsessed with finding limits to immortality. Researchers test extreme temperatures, deep space conditions, and advanced surgeries to understand why humans cannot die. Some experiments become deeply unethical as governments search for ways to control endless life. Rumors spread about secret facilities holding people in permanent suspended states after catastrophic injuries. Space migration. Eventually, Earth simply cannot support humanity anymore. Nations pour enormous resources into space colonization projects. Massive ships carry millions of people toward Mars, moons of Jupiter, and distant artificial stations. For the first time in history, humanity spreads permanently beyond Earth, not out of curiosity, but out of desperation for survival space. Loss of meaning. Over centuries, many traditions begin fading away. Birthdays lose importance after people celebrate hundreds of them. Historical events blur together for those who personally witnessed them all. Some people stop forming close relationships because they fear emotional exhaustion over endless time. Others dedicate centuries to mastering arts, science, or philosophy in search of purpose. Voluntary isolation. Large numbers of people eventually choose to separate themselves from society entirely. Some live alone in remote mountains or abandoned cities. Others drift endlessly across oceans or wander deserts simply to escape overcrowded civilization. Humanity becomes emotionally fragmented as endless life changes how people value connection. The endless future. Thousands of years later, humanity still exists, but life no longer resembles the world people once knew. Earth is covered in massive cities stretching across continents, while human colonies spread through space. Nobody remembers what natural death felt like anymore. Yet, despite all technological progress, many still quietly wonder whether mortality was never humanity's greatest weakness, but one of the things that gave life meaning in the first place. If you somehow made it to the end of this future, subscribe for more impossible scenarios explained. And tell me in the comments if immortality would actually be a blessing or a curse.